our employment, guided the development of Parrish Street as the center city address of many ambitious bankers, doctors, lawyers, and accountants whose investments in a growing African American community made it even possible for barbers, beauticians, pharmacists, nurses, architects, educators, and artists to live together and thrive in this community. Mr. Merrick's words were written at a time just after the violence in Wilmington in 1898. His message was directed at the African American community to remind them that owning a significant share of a business and property was the best way, if not the only way, to prevent what happened in Wilmington to happening right here in Durham. During the post-Civil War era, African Americans created wealth by establishing these type of businesses. The North Carolina Mutual Life Insurance Company was founded here in Durham in 1898 to provide benefits and mutual aid to a thriving African American community. Over time, this enterprise grew into the world's largest African American business, becoming an important national symbol of racial progress, self-help, and solidarity. Our slogan, "A company with a soul and a service," reflects this vision of good business as well as the importance of good citizens.
In 1921, a towering 6-story headquarters was built in the heart of downtown Durham, right here on Parrish Street, for a mere $250,000. Additionally, the site housed 2 clothing stores, a barbershop, a large drugstore, a tailoring shop, the North Carolina Mutual newspaper, and Mechanics and Farmers Bank.
According to the Durham Herald, 114 Parrish Street was one of the handsomest buildings in the city, an architectural gem. Interestingly, the new structure rose above all buildings in Durham except for one. The directors had meticulously checked the measurements of the tallest building in town to make sure theirs did not exceed it. Today, the building is owned by the North Carolina Institute of Economic Development. Yes. The Institute currently is one of the leading providers of technical assistance in the state, primarily focusing their efforts on minority-owned businesses. And again, our goal with PSAG is not just to celebrate the history, it's to bring economic commerce to this street.
My name is Kimberly Williams-Moore, and I'm the head of public relations and marketing at North Carolina Mutual Life Insurance Company. I have been working with the Parrish Street Advocacy Group now for 2 years. The organization is made up of businesses, nonprofits, and community members here in Durham who are concerned about the re-energizing and renovation of Parrish Street. The marker project that we talked about today has been in the making for approximately 2 years. The first 3 markers were unveiled last year. Today was the second phase of that, with 3 additional markers. And the markers each represent historic look at Parrish Street, what it meant to the community, what it meant to African American businesses. Specifically, this marker is talking about financial empowerment and the idea of having economic impact in the community in order to have civil impact in the community. The other 2 markers talked about diversity, the church community, and other nonprofits coming together, as well as the understanding of the first founders of this organization, North Carolina Mutual Life Insurance Company, Mechanics and Farmers Bank, those men and their vision of what Parrish Street could become nationally. And ultimately, Parrish Street served as an example of African American commerce thriving at a time when a lot of African Americans were feeling the brunt of racism and institutionalized oppression throughout the country.
It's entitled A Legacy of Community and Institutional Connection. Having a commitment to community betterment was one of the unique qualities of the African American businesses on Black Wall Street. A business leader in Durham was expected to invest time and creativity in educational, healthcare, religious, social, and political concerns. Now called social entrepreneurship, historically, this was just the way of doing business in Durham. Young, intelligent, and ambitious African American men and women who came to Durham seeking economic opportunity were groomed for community leadership through employment with Black Wall Street institutions like NC Mutual Life Company, Mechanics and Farmers Bank, and Mutual Community Savings and Loans. Leaders were expected to set an example for others through their dress, behavior, and demeanor. African American business leaders also played an important role in the religious life of their communities. Mechanics and Farmers Bank founder R.B. Fitzgerald built the Emmanuel AME Church in Durham's West End. NC Mutual Life Insurance leader John Merrick generously supported St. Joseph's, and Dr. Aaron Moore, C.C. Spalding, and W.J. Kennedy were involved with White Rock Baptist Church in Hayti. Spalding and long-term minister Miles Mark Fisher promoted the idea of an earth-centered church committed to a social gospel agenda. They organized educational and recreational activities for their youth, established a Boy Scout troop, and offered classes for adults. Dr. James E. Shepard, a founder of NC Mutual and M&F, successfully canvassed $7,000 from friends to begin construction of a campus for the National Religious Training Institute in Chautauqua. The purpose of the institute, which is now NC Central, was, quote, the development in young men and women of that fine character and sound academic training requisite for real service to the nation. In 1913, Black Wall Street businessman Dr. Aaron Moore organized a library in the basement of White Rock Baptist Church. Only the second black library in the state, the Durham Colored Library opened to the public in 1916. During the Great Depression, Dr. Stanford L. Warren gave $4,000 to secure the site for a new building at 1201 Fayetteville Street. The Stanford L. Warren Library has been an important community resource and a gathering place for civic and service organizations throughout its history, especially during the Civil Rights era. The library makes knowledge and educational resources available to its working class community. And I just wanted to add that the Parrish Street Advocacy Group is a diverse organization, like Durham is diverse, and also as Parrish Street has been historically and is today. Okay.
I want to recognize one person in this crowd. We're all important, and we're glad everyone is here. But there's one person in particular that I want to make reference to, who's a member of our group, the Parrish Street Advocacy Group, and who gives us guidance and wisdom through his experience. And I have to say, I think he probably has had more experience and knows and can recount more of the history of Parrish Street than anybody else I know. But Mr. R. Kelly Bryant. Yeah.
Anything that I say would be an added climax to this occasion, but let me say this, that I've been in and out of Durham all of my life, and I was in a group that came from a college in Eastern Virginia in 1938 to see what this Black Wall Street was all about. And people came from everywhere in this eastern part of the United States just to see what was happening here. And at that time, I was finally employed with Mutual Savings and Loan Association, then the Mechanics and Farmers Bank. And each time I worked in the area here. And North Carolina Mutual owned from the bank to this corner, and owned the yellow building and the black building there, and then had a large building in the parking lot over here. And things were really developed to show that there was success in black business here in Durham. And you could stand on this corner and watch Mr. Spalding and Miss Bess Whitted and Miss Northlead and all of the people that were working here. And we can't leave women out. There were a lot of women that did a lot of very important things in this occasion, in this area. I'm certainly happy to be here today, and thank you so much for what is being done. Thank you.